everybody. This recording will cover the assignments for both modules D and E. D and E are both now available on Blackboard. I am recording this before Module C is due, so don't forget about the assignment for Module C, and then make sure you have completed the assignments for Module A, B, and C. And remember, for each module, you only have to choose one of the assignments, right? So let's go into Module C really quickly. So if you decide to do, let's say you're going to do this podcast, that's the only one you need to do, right? So just choose one podcast and answer the questions, and make sure you follow along with which questions go with which podcast, because I know it's a little confusing. It got a little backwards. Or you can choose this podcast, right? So Module C, just choose one podcast, then you'll take your midterm exam. Okay, right there, as I posted, it is 33 questions because I included 3 extra credit questions, and then there you have 90 minutes for the exam. So then Module D is here. It is chapter 7 and 8, and then Module E, oh, sorry, my dog is with me, and apparently she's choking. Module E is chapters 9 and 10, but let's go to Module D, which is chapters 7 and 8. This one is due Friday, June 16th. Remember, here is the calendar, just so you are keeping up with it. So we're done with the affirmation form. You've submitted Module A, you've submitted Module B, and Module C is due. I'm recording this on Monday. So Module C is due tomorrow. Your midterm is due Thursday the 15th. And Module D is due on Friday. Okay, then Module E is due next week. All right, so there's your calendar. So let's talk about Module D. This is chapter 7 and 8. Again, PowerPoint with sound. I do still apologize about the textbook. Hopefully, I really do think you'll be okay without the textbook. I think I make it recommended and not required, but I honestly can't remember. I think it's a decent textbook. I really do. And I think that, I like the fact that there's an e-text, but now I think it's proving to be more problems than it's worth. So yeah, I do make it recommended. If you get it, great. If you don't, I think you'll be okay. All right, so let's talk about Module D, which again is chapter 7 and 8. Your assignment options, you're going to choose one. It's just a short video and then some questions. So here is one option. What's wrong with the scenario? So again, remember, you will choose one. You will choose either this one or you will choose this one. So for this one right here, watch this video and describe at least 4 things that are wrong with this scenario. You can use full sentences or bullet points, but make sure to describe at least 4 things that are wrong. Don't just list them, okay? So provide a little bit of information. It's basically about I'm going to use this term in quotes, so when you watch the video, you don't think I don't know what I'm talking about. So it's about a quote IEP meeting, and I'm using that term very loosely. But now that we're about halfway through the semester, you might be able to pick up on some things that are wrong with this scenario. It is honestly one of my favorite clips. I use it pretty much for all my special ed classes just because it's so bad. Okay, so but you will watch that video, and then the video there goes with this where it says chapter 8. Okay, so let me show you chapter 8, and the numbers chapter 8, chapter 7, it doesn't honestly really matter, to be honest. But this one, it just says, watch the YouTube clip under what's wrong with the scenario, list and describe at least 4 things wrong with the scenario. Bullet points or full sentences are acceptable. Either one is fine. Again, I'm looking for the description. Okay, so don't just write, meeting was bad, right? Tell me why. Tell me what's going on. So that's your first option. Okay, so this video right here goes with this set of questions. As I told you, the first set of questions goes with the first video. So in this case, they're actually correct as opposed to Module C. The second set of questions goes with the second video. You will only need to watch one and submit your answers to the accompanying questions. Your second video is about graphic organizers. I think the clips, honestly, y'all, are less than 5 minutes. So the video graphic organizers, here are your questions for that one. So remember, you'll need to open the questions. And your questions are, how can graphic organizers help students to organize their thoughts? How can computer technology be used to help children develop graphic organizers? This does not come from the video, so you might need to look at your PowerPoints, do a little research, and use your own experience. Okay, so that is not specifically in the video. And then I want you to share your favorite example of a graphic organizer, that was provided in the video. Why is this one your favorite? Maybe how have you used it? How have you seen it used? In what ways do you think it could be used? And if you want to talk about, additionally, if you want to discuss a graphic organizer that you have used that was not in the video, you can do that as well. But make sure you at least talk about one that was in the video, okay? Tell me an example of it, how it's used, why it's your favorite, stuff like that. Okay, so pretty straightforward. Again, you don't really need the textbook for this one. So that is Module D. You will either watch this video right here and answer the 4 things wrong, describe, or you will watch this video and answer where it says Chapter 7 questions. Remember, here's your assignment icon, so you will submit it there. All right, so that is Module D, and again, Module D is due the 16th. So let's talk about Module E. Okay, this is Chapters 9 and 10. So this, we're in the second half of the textbook. After the midterm, that brings us to the second half of the textbook. Where we will finish out. So Module E is Chapters 9 and 10. This is due Tuesday, June 20th. So going back to the calendar, it's due right here, okay? So this one, you will click on this. There's Chapter 9, there's Chapter 10. This one will be a Flipgrid post. So what you will do, you will answer one of the discussion questions in a Flipgrid post. You will log in with your g.fmarion.edu. So make sure you use your g.fmarion address, okay? Then you'll click the button that says record response. The time limit is set to 10 minutes, although you may not need that much time. I just wanted to make sure you were not rushed. So choose one of the discussion questions you will see when you log into FG, Flipgrid. So you're just gonna click right here. And it may take you, I had already logged in before I recorded this video, so it took me right to the assignment. Hold please. Wait a second. Okay, there it is. Whew, I got a little nervous for a second. Hold on. Trying to move this over a little bit, but it's not working, so don't mind all my other courses. But you will click right here where it says Module E assignment. Okay, and then so you're going to choose again just one, and yes, I labeled it Chapter 9 and Chapter 10. These ones actually do go with the chapters, but I was doing that just to kind of be clear. So you're going to choose one. You'll choose one of the following discussion questions from Chapter 9 or Chapter 10 and record your response. Remember to only choose one. Your response is due June 20th. Okay, this is your Module E assignment, and I really like this inclusion and accessibility for all. Kind of looks like a New York subway. So your option 1, how do the demands at the secondary level differ for students than when they are in elementary school? Okay, so some of you I know really like the secondary level. I was always elementary and early elementary, early childhood. But it's interesting to think about and I'm going to say, how do the academic and social demands at the secondary level for students with disabilities, okay, so keep that in mind, for students with disabilities, differ for students than when they were in elementary school. Okay, so that's your first option. And your second option is, why was the Brown versus Board of Education of Topeka important to people with disabilities? Okay, so this one, it is in your textbook a good bit, but you can also, if you're struggling with the textbook, it's covered in the PowerPoints, and you can also certainly just Google Brown versus Board of Ed. I'm just combining words. Hopefully you all have heard about it before and, can at least understand how the two rulings, or how this ruling is related and is important to people with disabilities. Thinking specifically about students, right? Students who are in school, students with disabilities, starting at, age 3, 4, 5, going to school. Okay, so really think about that. All right, but again, option 1, how did the demands for academic and social at the secondary level differ for students with disabilities than when they were in elementary school? And you can consider secondary, 7 through 12 if you want, or grades 9 through 12, kind of high school, whatever you think of when you hear the word secondary. Okay, I know it's kind of different. I come from New York State, and secondary was really 9th through 12th grades. Okay, so again, it's kind of potato. If you want to include, 7th and 8th grade, that's up to you, okay? But that's your first option. How do the demands at the secondary level differ for students from when they were in elementary school? Your second option, why? Be specific, right? Don't just say because of inclusion, right? Be specific. Tell me what groundwork, Brown versus the Board of Education, what groundwork get laid for people with disabilities, for students with disabilities. All right, and then to record, you will click record right here, and it will allow you to record your video. All right, and then it should just be able to, you should post it, and away we go. All right, so that is your, I'm going to close out of my little Flipgrids. Again, when you click here, it should take you to the login screen for Flipgrid. Make sure to use your g.fmarion.edu address. That's how I have it set up, okay? So you won't be able to log in with anything else. I have to log in with my Microsoft. It's really weird, but you all need to make sure to log in with your g.fmarion.edu, and then you're going to click where it says record. It doesn't say a response anymore. Now it just says record like I showed you. Okay, so you'll click right here and tell me which option you're choosing. Okay, you can say option, oh, I'm choosing option 1. I'm choosing chapter 9. I'm choosing option 2. I'm choosing chapter 10. Just let me know which one you are choosing. You do not need to respond to anybody else's post, but you are certainly welcome. I will make sure I have it set so that you can view other people's responses if you want. Again, just kind of for your own knowledge, but you don't have to make any type of response. All right, so that's modules D and E. I will get modules F and G posted and open for you probably in the next few days or so. But again, here's our calendar. So module C is due. Remember, you're going to choose one podcast and answer the question. Your midterm is due. You need to complete that in one sitting and by yourself. Module D is due, which we just talked about, where you'll choose one of the videos and answer the questions. And module E is due, where you will, choose one of the options and make your post into Flipgrid. All right, I think that is about it for now. Let me check on my time. Ooh, look at that. I still have a few minutes to go. But you should be able to see modules D and E right now. And that is pretty much where we are. Don't forget to submit module C, and don't forget about your midterm. And then go ahead and get started on modules D and E whenever you get the chance. My plan is to grade module B later today and into tomorrow. I was out of town this weekend, so I didn't get to it then. But I will get it graded. Y'all are doing a great job so far. And from the few people who've taken the midterm already, your scores are looking really good. So everybody keep up the good work and try to enjoy your summer a little bit. And I will see you back for modules F and G.